Hi. You guys, I'm so bad at this booktuber thing. Oh my god. I experienced a huge oversight? What's the word? Oversight. Oh, I feel like it's oversight.
It was oversight, I'm illiterate.
I experienced a huge oversight because I started classes last week and
that totally fucked up my whole schedule.
I was supposed to post this video on Tuesday. It is Thursday when I'm filming this section. Safe to say that it's not uploaded because I have not finished filming it and I haven't even finished editing it. Obviously. I'm filming this at night just like I filmed my booktube newbie tag, but I'm not filming this after 12. I'm filming this at only 10:37. So we're doing a lot better in that aspect. I can't believe I'm filming at night 2 videos in a row. I don't know, I'm just toxic like that. Maybe it'll be a trend. Maybe this will be a theme of my channel. I just always film at night. Anyway, this is supposed to be a bookshelf tour video, but here's the thing. This isn't gonna be like other bookshelf tour videos. I'm not like other booktubers. Ahaha.
Shut up, Amanda.
I'm kidding. But no, I'm serious. This is not like other bookshelf tour videos because I already filmed the actual bookshelf tour part, but here's the thing.
What?
I didn't actually speak in any of the videos that I filmed. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to watch the footage and add a voiceover to it and describe to you my bookshelf. Also, my bookshelves, they're not conventional. My bookshelves are so messy. They're so disorganized. I know other booktubers have theming to their bookshelves. They organize by the color, or they organize by author, or they organize by genre. That's not what this bookshelf tour is going to be. I have books from the same series on different bookshelves because I'm not organized. And what about it? Leave me alone. So I have one bookshelf in my room. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. I used to have 3 bookshelves in my room. I moved one out into the hallway and then I got rid of like 70 books because I realized I was hoarding a bunch of books that I didn't even like or that I didn't even want to read. So I donated 70 of my books to either friends or family or to Goodwill. So just know that these are the books that I actually like. Or if I don't like them, I probably haven't read them, but I intend to read them. And I'll tell you that in the actual bookshelf tour. Let's just get into the first bookshelf. I'm gonna start with the one in the hallway because it's the one that's slightly more organized than my second bookshelf. It's also bigger. So I don't know how to transition this clip. 3, 2, 1, go. So first, we have my Sarah J. Maas, don't know how to pronounce her last name, section. I have the 8 books in the Throne of Glass series. I'm not a huge fan of the Throne of Glass series, honestly, but I spent way too much money buying that whole series. And it's actually because of Throne of Glass that I realized that I shouldn't buy series, like physical copies of series, before I read them because I might hate them. I shouldn't say that actually. I did quite enjoy the Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, and Crown of Midnight, but I didn't really like or enjoy any of the other books in the series just because I fucking hated Rowan. Next, I have the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, which I actually do like. I didn't really like Throne of Glass, but I did like A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yeah, I have the 3 books and the novella. The novella sucks ass. I hated it. Yeah, that's A Court of Thorns and Roses. Then we have The Diviners by Libba Bray. Have not read that book. If I'm being honest, I'm actually kind of mad that they changed the cover. I think the original cover, the cover that I have, is so much prettier than the covers that they changed to, and I just really wish that they would have stuck with this theme. But yeah, I have The Diviners, have not read it yet, but I want to. The next series that I have in this shelf is the Winter's Curse series. I fucking love this series so much. I think it's so underrated. I first heard of it on Tumblr, but I don't hear many people talking about it on BookTube. Also, I don't really watch BookTubers yet. Oh my god. Side note, let me just say something. For everyone who commented welcoming me to BookTube in my last video, thank you so much. I feel so bad that I haven't gone through anyone's channels yet. I literally have been so busy with school that I haven't been able to, but I think I'm gonna have some free time over the weekend, so I will try to get to your channels for everybody who commented. So yeah,
That's all I have to say.
to the corner, I have this little Mickey doll that's actually not mine. It's It's my brother's. My mom put it there, so we're just gonna get rid of him because he doesn't need to be here right now. Okay, then I have what I like to call my middle school guilty pleasure shelf. I have the Lux series by Anna Godberson, and then the Bright Young Things series also by Anna Godberson. The best way I can describe it is it was like my comfort series in middle school. I would reread it all the time. I know that it's not the best, but I still loved it, and that's what we like to call nostalgia. Nostalgia's a bitch. You know who said that? Damon Salvatore. Speaking of middle school obsessions. Anyway, on to the next shelf, which is my Harry Potter shelf, but also not really my Harry Potter shelf because I have other books on that shelf. So the first thing on my shelf is actually peeking behind the illustrated editions, which is a Harry Potter coloring book. I have only colored in one page. I don't even think I finished the page, so that is really shitty of me and toxic. But next to that coloring book, we have the illustrated editions of Harry Potter. I really love these editions. I haven't actually read them. They kind of just sit on my shelf, and I occasionally look through the pictures and go,
oh, that's pretty.
and that's it. And then next I have a Pop Funko of Draco and a Pop Funko of Hermione because I don't even know if I can say it.
Don't say it.
I may or may not like Hermione. It may or may not be like my favorite thing since I was like 14 years old. But also, if you don't like Hermione, I hate them too. They're so disgusting and I don't see it. I agree with you if you hate them. And then next I have this, what is it? Gilderoy Lockhart trading card. And I got this in, I don't remember. I think I got that in either a chocolate frog container or I got it in the Birdie's Bots Beans thing. And then I have my butterbeer mug that I got at Universal Orlando, and it has a bunch of random coins in it. I don't know why, but that's what's in there. And on the bottom I have Harry Potter Page to Screen, which if you're really into Harry Potter, I really recommend that you get this. It just has a lot of cool pictures from the movies. And then next I have my very, very worn out paperback editions of the series, American paperback editions. They are worn and they're loved. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. And then the next one, I have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Disgusting. We hate that. There is Fantastic Beasts, the screenplay, which is written by J.K. Rowling. Can I just say that I'm really glad people are finally discovering like how problematic she is. When she announced that Dumbledore was gay, that was kind of like, oh yay, diversity moment, but why wouldn't she write that in the actual book? And then she said that Hermione was black, which was like, oh yay, diversity moment, but it was also like, why didn't you write that in the book? Why in the books did you write Hermione as white? And then it kept getting worse. And then now she's a TERF. So I'm glad that it was announced that Harry Potter was actually written by Britney Spears. Thank you, Britney Spears, for my childhood. And then the next thing I have is Hermione Granger's wand, which I also got at Universal Orlando. It was way overpriced, but it's beautiful and I don't regret it. And then I randomly have 3 books from the hardcover British edition. I think I have Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and Half-Blood Prince. I got all of these books on Thrift Books. I think I originally intended to kind of get the whole series, but then I just gave up on it. And now I just have those 3 books. They're actually really shitty to read because if you own the hardcover British edition, the words are really close to the spine, which makes it like awkward to actually read those books. I like the covers a lot though, and that's why I got them. And then I randomly have a hardcover of Deathly Hallows that I think I got at Goodwill. I don't know why I have it. I should honestly just get rid of it because I don't need it. There's no reason for me to have this book. Yeah.
Oops.
And then moving on to the non-Harry Potter books on the shelf, I have the This Savage Song duology, I think, by Victoria Schwab. I have not read this book series, but I really, really want to. I've heard really good things about it. And then next up, I have the first 5 books of the Fallen Kingdom series. I'm missing book 6 because when I read it, they didn't have it in paperback and I didn't want to buy it in hardcover and have them not match, so I just didn't get it. And then I have randomly the first book of the Cruel Prince trilogy. I don't have any of the other Cruel Prince books, I just have that one. I do want to buy the rest of the Cruel Prince series because I really enjoyed it, but yeah, that's that on that. And then moving on to the Cassandra Clare section, First of all, I have Tessa's necklace, which is hung off of the Clockwork Angel. I think that I got it off of Amazon for like $15 or something. So then I obviously have the Clockwork Angel series, or the Infernal Devices. It's not called that, it's called the Infernal Devices. I'm a fake fan. Then I have the Mortal Instruments series. I'm missing City of Ashes because I lent it to my cousin in December and I still have not got it back. So will I ever get City of Ashes back? I don't know. And then I have the Dark Artifices. Queen of Air and Darkness is actually signed because I went and got that book signed when Cassandra Clare was doing her Queen of Air and Darkness book tour. So that was pretty cool. Next, I have my Game of Thrones series, the box set. I haven't read this either. And I also have this Joffrey. It's not really a Pop Funko, but it kind of is. It's like an off-brand Pop Funko that I got out of like this mystery package. And then I also have this Pop Funko of Daenerys that I got when I first started watching the show. I was probably a freshman in high school, which means that was 2013. And as you can see, I hate Daenerys Targaryen. I started hating her probably season 4 or season 5. I just started to hate her, so I want to replace that Funko with Sansa instead because Sansa's the only good character in that entire show. And that's the tea. Next, I have the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I read the first book, but I didn't really like it. But it's one of those things where I don't know if I was being too harsh when I first read it because I read it when I was like 16, I think. So I want to reread it and give this series another chance and see if I still dislike the first book or maybe I'll like the first book. I don't know. Next shelf, we're starting out with the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I actually went and met her when she was doing the Warstorm tour, so I have all 4 books of the Red Queen series signed. I love Victoria Aveyard so much. She's one of the few authors that I do follow on Twitter, and I love her. And then I have my very well-loved Twilight series straight out of 2009. I love Twilight. I'm not even going to apologize for it. I even have the Short Second Life of Brie Tanner, and I also have the first graphic novel edition. You can probably tell that there's a gap right there. That is where Midnight Sun is going. But I'm currently trying to get through Midnight Sun. I'm struggling to get through Midnight Sun really badly. And then I have the Grisha trilogy, which apparently Shadow and Bone was upside down. I don't know why. This is another one that I read when I was 16, so I don't know if I reread it, whether I would like it or not. But it was the first high fantasy that I ever read, and for that reason, it will always have a really special place in my heart. And then I have the Six of Crows duology, which I have Six of Crows signed by Leigh Bardugo when I went to BookCon in, I think, 2016. So in this like hodgepodge stack of random books, I have from the bottom Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and then I have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Above that, I have the first 2 books in the, I know that this trilogy isn't called One Dark Throne trilogy, but the trilogy with One Dark Throne and 3 Dark Crowns. I have those first 2 books. I have not read the 3rd book, and I don't own the 3rd book. And then I have Vengeful by V.E. Schwab, which is the 2nd book in the Villains series. And then above that, I have The Case for Jamie, which I also got signed by the author when I met Victoria Aveyard. However, I have not read the series. And then we have Scythe, which is also one of my favorite book series ever. It's so fucking good. Please read Scythe. And then I have at the top, I have Blood of Wonderland and Queen of Hearts, which is a series that I don't really know the name of. I haven't read either of those books. So yeah, that concludes that bookshelf. And then we're gonna move into the second bookshelf, which is in my room. Which, if you thought that that bookshelf was disorganized and didn't have any order to it, wait until you see the bookshelf in my bedroom. It's so much worse. So starting from the top, this one is probably by far the worst out of all of the bookshelves on this bookshelf. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I love this book. I read it twice and it made me bawl my eyes out both times. And the next one we have Salt to the Sea, which also made me bawl my eyes out so much. Also so very sad. It's a World War II book. I loved it. And then the next one I have Bully by Penelope Douglas. Have not read this book. I bought it because it was enemies to lovers, but I have a feeling it's just gonna be an unhealthy relationship, so.
Yay.
These next two books, Enter Title Here and The Female of the Species, were actually arcs that I got at BookCon in 2016. I've not read either of them, but I really want to. Next up, I have this pile, which I think is like adult fiction, but also like not really adult fiction. So up top, we have Big Little Lies. I love this show, but I have not yet read the book. Next thing I have are 2 editions of The Great Gatsby, because I was absolutely obsessed with The Great Gatsby movie in whenever it came out, I think 2013. It was my favorite movie for a solid year or 2. Next up, Deathless. I fucking love Deathless. One of my, let's just say, literary niches that I really like is Russian-inspired fantasy, and Deathless is a Russian-inspired fantasy. It's really weird and kind of like psychedelic, but I love it so much. It's so good. If you're looking for a Russian fantasy for whatever reason, Deathless is one of the best. Next, I have an arc of Girls on Fire, which I actually didn't get this from BookCon. I ordered it on Thrift Books, but they accidentally sent me an arc instead of a real paperback. Girls on Fire was another like slightly weird book, but I remember really liking it when I read it, so I don't know. Next up, yes, that is what you think it is. Maya Moore.
I can't even say it, I am so shy.
My Immortal. I absolutely love My Immortal. If you're unaware of what My Immortal is, which I hope most of you know what it is. My Immortal is a Harry Potter fanfiction that was written in like 2005 or 2006, I think. I think I discovered it in maybe 2014, 2015. It is horrendously bad, but it is also hilariously bad. Yeah, I bought this paperback version of My Immortal on Amazon because I don't know how to spend my money wisely. And then next I have this random Rick Grimes Pop Funko that I think I got for sale at Target. Remember when Walking Dead used to be good? Feels so long ago. Next up are the Raven Cycle books. All of these are signed. No, I actually think just the first book and the 4th book are signed. I met Maggie Stafod, or that's not right. I met Maggie when she was doing her Raven King book tour because for a long period of time, the Raven Cycle was one of my favorite books ever, and yeah. So the next shelf, starting with the Half Bad trilogy. Have not read this. I don't even remember why I bought it. I think I saw a Tumblr post on it back in the day, and I was like, oh, I want to read that series, and I never got around to it, but I want to read Half Bad Really Bad. Half Bad Really Bad. That's weird. And next I have the Nevernight trilogy, which I actually recently read in July and August by Jay Kristoff. I really liked the first 2 books, but I didn't really like Dark Dawn as much. And the next series I have is another comfort series, Shatter Me. I read this when I'm sad. I know the author has expanded this book series to be like 3 extra books, but I've heard really bad things about those 3 extra books, so I'm scared to read it because I don't want to taint how much I love Shatter Me. Next up I have Cruel Beauty.
What the fuck?
Next I have Cruel Beauty and Crimson Bound. I've read Cruel Beauty, but I have not read Crimson Bound. And then we have another Tumblr favorite, The Foxhole Court. It's the actual trilogy is called All for the Game, but I never call it that because I think that's an ugly title, so I just call it The Foxhole Court and refer to all 3 of those books as the Foxhole Court series, even though I know it's wrong. And then I have the Maze Runner series, which I liked in, when did that come out? Early high school. I only was interested in it because of Dylan O'Brien, because he was playing the main character. And that was quite literally the only reason that I read those books, because of Dylan O'Brien. I don't even think I really liked the books. I just liked Dylan O'Brien. Next up, I have the first book in the Illuminae series. I read the whole series, but I only have this first book. When I read the Illuminae files, probably like 2 years ago, totally blew me away. I love the format of it. And then I have an arc of The Diabolic, which I also got at BookCon, and I remember really liking it. I don't remember anything from the story. Next, Scorpio Trials. I hated this book. I don't know if I was just like an angsty teenager when I read it and I was just like looking to hate something, especially given how much I loved the Raven Cycle, but I was so unimpressed with the Scorpio races. I think it's because I was expecting something more similar to the Raven Cycle, and this is not similar to the Raven Cycle at all, and I think that's why I gave it such a negative review, because I had such high expectations. The Goldfinch. I have not read The Goldfinch, but I really, really want to because The Secret History is one of my favorite books ever written. I actually would call it my favorite book ever written. I'm obsessed with The Secret History. I've read it multiple times. I just love it so much. And behind The Secret History, I have What is Media Archaeology, which is one of my textbooks for my degree. And I don't really want to display it, so I just tucked it under The Secret History. Life hack. Next, I have these 3 classics books that I got at Costco. One is King Arthur, one is Shakespeare's works, and the other is the Iliad and the Odyssey. Next, I have another copy of Diabolic, but this time it's the actual published version, which I only bought because it was on sale at my university bookstore for really cheap. Because I do eventually want to reread the Diabolic, so that's why I got it. King of Scars really should be with the rest of the Grishaverse books, but it's not. I don't know why. I just put it here instead because I don't think about things. And then next I have Arch Enemies, which is the second book in the Renegades trilogy, and also not with the first book. They're separated. And then I have The Queens of Ines Lier. I tried to read this book, but I was in a reading slump, so I just gave up. I do want to try and read it again though. And then the last books on the shelf is the Queen's Thief series, which is another like very underrated fantasy series. It's so well done. I think it tackles a lot of topics like mental health, and I think it tackles depression honestly really well in I think the second book. It's so good. It's such like a well done fantasy series, and I don't think it gets enough love. Final shelf. Oh my god, this video is gonna be so freaking long. Okay, Crave by Tracy Wolff. I got this because I think I'm going to hate it and I want to make a review on it, but maybe I will like this book. And then lastly, I have the first 8 books in the Pretty Little Liars series, which was my favorite series in like the 6th grade. Just like Pretty Little Liars was my favorite show in the 5th and 6th grade. I've read these books so many times. You can tell that they're well loved. I've probably reread this series at least 3 times. I would have been 10, and I was obsessed with these all throughout middle school. This video is going to be a bitch to edit because I know it's going to be long. Let me see if I can get it under 30 minutes. I wonder if I can. If I can't, no, I think I'll be able to. I think I'll be able to get it under 30 minutes. Just for funsies, I'm going to tell you the time it is right now. It's 11:26 p.m. So I'm going to peace out. Anyway, thanks for watching my bookshelf tour. Subscribe if you want, and I will see you in the next video if you want to show up and be there. Okay, bye.
What am I doing? Don't look at me, I'm shy.